Well, hello again and welcome to the VK6CS Fun with Amateur Radio channel. I know you've all been waiting with bated breath for the latest thrilling instalment of how the amplifier is coming along. As usual, the light's not particularly good in here, but I thought I'd just show you that I've been getting on with a few bits and pieces. As you can see, the transformers are now mounted. The bridge rectifier is mounted, as is the smoothing capacitor for the 12 volt supply for the relay switching. The little cable clips, a lot of the little cable clips are in place. Now these holes here where the screen, this screen bolts to the verticals inside the cabinet, but there'll be these small cable clips here and here which will hold that red wire like that between those two clips there, like that. These mains cables here which will go down to the switches, so you know we've got a blue and black for each transformer going onto the solder tags here. They'll go down to the switches, so they'll sort of go down through a clip. Once that's bolted vertically in the amplifier case, they'll go down vertically like that through a larger clip on the inside of the case and up to the switches. So they'll be held in place. These thin wires here are going off to the timer relay. And they come from this transformer here. They're actually soldered onto there. All of these are wrapped around the tags and soldered. I did actually wonder about, I hope I didn't lose the focus then. I did actually wonder about having these wires going vertically onto these tags and putting heat shrink on like I've done on there, but it would have meant that they'd have to sort of loop up and go down and then sort of loop out and a bit like this. I couldn't put the heat shrink on that, of course, because I've got the capacitor and the other two wires there, but I decided that I didn't really I thought, well, it might look a little nicer, but I think it's just as good like that. And remember the HT board is going there as well, so I don't really want the cables coming up brushing against the HT board. And if I want to do any measurements, it's a lot easier to do it on the tips of the tags. It's a lot easier to do without the heat shrink on it, so I thought, okay, I'll leave that like that. Now the black wire here, this black wire, that's going to go around to my the HT board. There'll be a yellow and green wire as well, which will go to the HT board. That'll go from the HT board ground to the chassis, and the black one goes from the HT negative supply here from the metering. That'll go around to the the cathode bias board. On the other side of the amplifier, you can probably see there's that bundle of wires there. So you've got the red and the black there. It's joined by the two filament wires that go along there. I've got the slightly larger clips here, just a little tie there just to keep it a little neater. But when it gets to it doesn't look terribly bright. I hope you can see that okay. When it gets to the corner here, when this is mounted vertically, these cables here will just go round inside the amplifier. There's a sort of box section there, and I've just stuck a little bit of this stuff here over the edge of the metal, just here with this epoxy, the twin mix epoxy adhesive. Well, it says it's epoxy. I didn't actually think it was all that bad. Super strength epoxy adhesive. There we go. So I just used some of that to hold that on there, and that's on there quite firmly. That's not going to come off. I could probably stand that on that. That there is the gland that the EHT cable is going to go through, and as it is usually the case with my standard of preparation, I thought I had a piece of EHT cable there, but keeping talking just so that you can maintain the very little interest that you have in this, and that will go through there like that into the PA compartment. That will actually come along from through here. I've actually done that up, I think, so it's not going to be easy to, yeah, I'll have to loosen that screw off to get that through there, but you get the picture. So that will come round like that. It will loop, that will loop through there and go onto the HT board. And the there's another two of these clips back to back at the top there. You can see those. So that the AC will come from the transformer. The 2000 volts AC will come up and it will run through two of these and then down onto the bridge rectifier. So there'll be two of these, you know, one there like that, another one there like that. So the DC's there, the AC's there, and that will loop down. That will loop down from there onto the rectifier board. Because remember, the rectifiers are on the board that are going in front of this. So obviously you can't see that at the moment. And now it doesn't look too bad on this side. On the other side, it doesn't look quite so tidy because of all the bolts sticking through. I did wonder about having these bolt heads on the sort of RF deck side, and I did wonder about turning all the bolts around, but I thought I'd actually leave it. So there we go. That's looking down on it. It will actually stand up on its own now. There's the HT decoupling capacitor. That's a 3000. That's a 3300 picofarad. 10,000 volt working doorknob there. That's the HT rail decoupling capacitor. So when the HT 2800 volt DC HT goes through the little gland here, like that. That will there'll be the RF choke goes in that hole there, sticks out like that, and there'll be some 1mm building wire going from a solder tag there on top of the doorknob to the RF choke, and this will just come through and connect onto that rail. And that'll be that's a nice simple clean way of feeding in the HT voltage. Nylon gland is okay as long as the RF is adequately decoupled, and it will be with that. And this cable here is a special EHT cable. It's actually rated, the insulation's rated at 25,000 volts, and the current rating on it is 10 amps, so that's ideal. I don't have to worry about running this along the chassis or through these plastic clips or through the nylon gland. With that sort of insulation rating, it's no problem at all. So it might look like ordinary red car wire, but it's the real McCoy, that stuff. And I'm really not expecting it to burst into flames. That of course doesn't mean that it won't, but it does mean that I'm not expecting it to. So there we go. There's a bit of an update. So I've not been sitting on my hands. Progress is being made. It is getting there. Slowly but surely, but it is getting there. I still haven't sorted out my cooling. But I'll probably get that organised, probably get that finalised, get a line drawn under the cooling next week. Well, there we go. Just a little more, just a bit of an update on how it's going. I could actually show you that RF choke before I just terminate this recording. The RF choke, you know, I said the RF choke. Now let's just pan this out a little bit. Pan it out a bit. Move that over there like that. Now I said on the other side of this is the RF choke's going. I could just show you that very quickly. That's the RF choke. And that is going to go in there. Actually, I could have put that on there, but as I said, usual level of prep work. That's going to go on there like that. Obviously, I can't tighten that up, but that will be done up with a spanner. So if I do it up, it will be done up by a spanner. But there we go. So what do I do with that EHT cable? I'll put that down somewhere. What did I do with the EHT cable? Huh. Oh, there we go. It's just lying amongst the general debris. Okay, so here we go. So this is the RF deck side of the screen. The doorknob decoupling capacitor, the plate choke, and that goes through there like that, just like that. Who used to say that? It was Tommy Cooper, wasn't it? Just like that. So there we go. Let's zoom in a bit on that. So if you can imagine there'll be a solder tag on there, and then a bit of 1mm building wire. I'll make that turn that up to the vertical position, so there'll be a sort of copper 1mm wire bridge between here and there, which will be standing off just about the height of the doorknob capacitor, maybe a little bit higher. The EHT cable will come through, wrap around, and be soldered on there at about that sort of height. I hope that remained in focus, because while I was doing that, I couldn't see the viewfinder. Okay, well, there we go. So that's how it's coming along. One final creaky looking view at the transformers, and I'll again thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.